And hey, you buckaroos, I'm out front. You can hear some lawnmower action going off beside me. Because the bitches are mowing off late, I'll tell you that. Anyways, hey, I found this grain belt beer in Keokuk, Iowa when we went up towards Hannibal, Missouri. It's about an hour out of there. So I'm going to have that with you, but I'm not doing really a video for the beer. I'm more kind of recapping our vacation for you. As you can see, I did a video earlier today. Was Alpha ISBA whiskey from Still 630. It's a collaboration between Still 630 and Alpha Brewing out of St. Louis. I had whiskey a couple different ways during the video, and then I decanted the rest of this bottle, well, most of the rest except for about 2 ounces. I poured it into the Southern Comfort glass that my wife found on vacation. Now, I just like the glass. Got a neat little look about it. And I was using my new whiskey ball molds, and the other one came out right. It came with 2 molds, but this one kind of split in half on me, so maybe I did something wrong. Who knows? Yeah, like I said, I've told you all before that Olympia was my dad's beer that I always watched him drink growing up. But before he had all of his kids, because he was in his 30s before he got married, growing up in South Dakota, Grain Belt was his beer. Grain Belt today is brewed in New Ulm, Minnesota by August Shell, and it may not be the same beer it once was, but every time I come across this, and it's been over a decade since I've come across it, I want to pick it up. So I picked up a 12-pack. I drank most of it because we're on the lake, and it is a fine lake beer. And beer geeks are going to come unglued right away because I swigged it right out of the bottle. The truth is, this beer isn't going to gain anything by me making it aromatic and pouring it out. It's going to stay at its best if I keep it cold in the bottle. Oh, this stuff is just freaking amazing. Yeah, baby. So, now I've talked for 2.5 minutes and I haven't even started. Let me give it to you. I'll give it to you, baby. We had an early Friday morning heading towards Mark Twain Landing in Monroe City up near Hannibal, Missouri. We ended up I went straight into Hannibal actually, and we hit Mark Twain Brewery, which was phenomenal. They were very nice. I don't know. Beer was good. Food was okay, not outstanding. We had some smoked wings that were very nice, but there was one beer in particular that really stood out. It was Habanero Apricot Ale. The rest of the beers were solid. They were nice. They were well put together. Nothing necessarily to write home about, but no flaws. But that Apricot Habanero, or Habanero Apricot, that beer was something special. Oh, and then Saturday we kind of hung out on the lake with, you know, Moose and Huggy Bear and their wives. Greg and Scott, it was a heck of a time. We spent most Saturday out on a pontoon boat. They actually handled most of the meals between Greg and Scott. The only thing we were asked to do was bring boat food. You know, basically they wanted some lunch meat and you know, bread. So we ran into the store. I did make some ham salad at home before we went up, so I ended up bringing some lunch meat plus the homemade ham salad. So it was a great time. Oh. And then Sunday, we headed back. We headed down into St. Louis. Monday, we were meeting some folks from Shay's Public Cause team. But Sunday night, I met with Mike and Patty Rice that I'd met about a year ago at Urban Chestnut. They were gracious enough to invite us into their home. And I have trouble speaking. Invite us into their home. And they were amazing folks. Mike's a wild man, man. I mean, I was trying to drink and keep up with him, and it just wasn't happening. Patty, my wife, went shopping. Mike and I stayed home drinking, and man, I was hammered by the end of the night trying to keep up with Michael. But it was a heck of a time. And then Monday the 10th, I did a tour of Dogtown, where I went to Pat Connolly's bar, Seamus McDaniel's, and Heavy Riff. I was able to get videos from Connolly's and Seamus McDaniels, but for some reason I did videos at Heavy Riff. For some reason they got lost. My memory got too full, and I think I just automatically chucked some out because I couldn't find them after I got back home. So I want to talk a little bit about that brewery. That it's a small brewery in the Dogtown area of St. Louis, and it's just freaking amazing. It's kind of music themed, as you could tell by the name Heavy Riff. But one of their signature beers, if not their signature beer, is their Velvet Underground, obviously from Velvet Underground. But they do a coffee vanilla version of that Velvet Underground that is just amazing. I would recommend any of my beer geek friends to go out of their way to find this brewery just to have that one beer, because it is just that good. And then later that evening, I almost got tossed out of Urban Chestnut. We closed the joint, man. It was a heck of a time. No, John and Nate at Urban Chestnut just made us incredibly welcome. I met with some folks from Pedal the Cause, and we just had a great time out there. They were even nice enough to give all my friends a private tour. It was absolutely beautiful. I mean, the Urban Chestnut, I gotta tell you, I mean, you guys have heard me talk about this brewery 1,000 times if you've watched me once. I just think it's one of the greatest breweries because I love the way they do traditional styles. They may not be quite as out of the box as some, but there's nobody on this planet that's brewing a better beer than that brewery. I just love them. Oh, wowzer. Ooh, it's so warm out here. I sprayed to kill some flies, and they're not quite as bad as it was. Well, I did the first video, and I was about to come unglued, but there's still a couple hanging around. So, moving along. Yeah, okay, so Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Seamus' birthday come along. It's kind of a, you know, it's a tough day for my wife and I. We spent the better part of the morning together. We had some breakfast. We kind of relaxed and talked a little bit. But then she went and did some shopping, and I kind of did some wandering. I started at the Schlafly Tap Room. I've been to the Bottle Works once with my wife and Seamus, but I'd never been to the tap room, so I visited there. And the bartender there, his name was Paul, and this guy was just amazing. He, you know, I don't know how many times I've said this, but sometimes you go to brewery tap rooms and you get someone that just doesn't really know what beer they're selling. They're just there. They're being employed. But Paul knew every beer they had. And I'm not talking about a tap room that had maybe 4 or 6 beers. They had a nice selection. They had a lot going on there. And Paul was just amazing. One of the beers in particular that I had was their Schlafly AIPA. They had it both on tap, on draft, and in cask. So I ordered the cask version because anytime anybody has cask ale, I want to order it. And then he served me that, but then he gave me about half a snifter of the regular. He said, let's do a science experiment. He wanted me to kind of compare the two. So I explained to him what differences I felt between the two, and then he told me why I was feeling that difference. It was just amazing. He was a great bartender, so if you ever get to the Schlafly Tap Room, ask for Paul, because this guy knows his stuff. But then I met Jay Indovino from Pedal the Cause at Four Hands, where I knocked several back. And I didn't do videos for Four Hands because I was talking with Jay. And we were just talking, having a good time. I meant to buy a glass on the way out, but I forgot. But we had some great brews up there. Four Hands is a brewery not to be missed, too. I mean, that's a really a true out-of-the-box brewery. I get frustrated because I think Perennial Artisan Ales is doing some great brews. But I think they steal a lot of thunder from some of these others, and I think it's unwarranted. I don't think there's a better out-of-the-box brewery in St. Louis than, I think I said Springfield earlier, disregard. There's not a better out-of-the-box brewery in St. Louis than Four Hands. You know, I don't know why Perennial gets all the attention. I think sometimes beer snobs latch on to certain breweries and don't let it go, whether it's warranted or not. But Four Hands is just amazing. I had some beers there that just knocked my socks off. In between Urban Chestnut and I think Four Hands doing their out-of-the-box stuff, Urban Chestnut laying their claim on traditional beers. There's just not two better breweries on the planet, in my attention. Fuck, I can't speak this evening. There are not two better breweries. I'll try to act sober for a second, Tom. There are not two better breweries on the planet. Damn. In my opinion. I'm having trouble speaking. So anyway, yeah, you know, I haven't had a whole lot to drink today, but we're just freaking exhausted. It was a long week. And it's funny, we didn't get tired until we got home, and holy shit, now we're tired. Yeah, because we were just going the whole time, man. You know, Moose and Huggy Bear. Wow, I can't keep up with those guys. And then I had Sunday night with Mike and Patty Rice, and Mike, oh man, him and I were just drinking like nobody's business. And then Monday with the Pellicaz guys. And Tuesday kind of took it easy a little bit. I went up to the rooftop bar at the Moonrise Hotel. That was fun. I had 2 Manhattans that are their signature drink, a month-old and a year-old. That was awesome. Then I went down to Three Kings and had a beer and a shot of whiskey with Jimmy out there. But anyway, it just became a very nice weekend. We did some shopping on the way back. I had Lucky's that allows you to have a beer and walk around the store and shop. I mean, how freaking brilliant is that? So after an hour and a half of shopping, my wife and I decided we needed some lunch. So they have a lunch special, right? If you buy 2 pieces of pizza, and they're huge, right? They're big New York style slices, which are 2 sliced pizzas, $4. But if you buy 2 slices of pizza, you get a pint of beer for $1. So we each wanted 1 slice, so I got the 2 slices of pizza. I had a beer, which was the Lagunitas, a little something extra, I think it was, for $5. Can you imagine having 2 great big slices of pizza and a beer for $5? It's awesome. I fed her, me, had a beer for $5. Life is good. And we came on home. I'm trying this whiskey for the first time. I did enjoy it neat. I had tried some neat. I noticed I did a video for it, and I did an addendum after it, but even after I finished that addendum and finished my whiskey, I was noticing something else. There are some interesting, it says on the bottle, a formidable beer created by Alpha Brewing Company, brewed and distilled at Still 630. Then the whiskey was aged in virgin oak barrel, delicious notes of fudge, malt, more than a wisp of smoke. Yeah, you get a lot of smoke. I was noticing, I said in my addendum, that the longer I let it sip, the spicy notes became more apparent. But then I finished up and I uploaded the video. Then I started noticing later, as it got even colder, the fudge notes became apparent. It was almost like you had the fudge and the spicy notes. It almost had like a chipotle feel about it, or not chipotle, but a mole feel about it. That's the word I'm looking for. It had like a mole feel. You had some chocolate and spice going on. That fudge and those spicy notes kind of melded together. Absolutely brilliant. So I ran this one very long. I don't know who's going to stay with me all the way through it, but for those of you that do, thank you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You know, I don't know if there's anybody on the planet that's going to like this beer more than I do. And it's not because it's that good a beer. It's just because there is some sentiment attached to it for me. I got to tell you, for me, it doesn't feel as offensive as many macro lagers. It feels a little crisper, a little cleaner, but a lot of that could be my memory clouding the issue. But I have enjoyed having this 12-pack, and quite frankly, I wish I had bought a case of it just so I had a 12-pack to sit here and enjoy and wax nostalgic about my pop. So I won't finish that. I will finish this. Hold on. Oh, excuse me. That was a long recap, about 15 minutes worth. I do apologize, but it was a great time. I'm Tom the Beer Whisperer. I want to thank everybody that supported me over the last few years. We've had some difficulties that most of you know, and we're trying to come through it on the other side. So I'm the Beer Whisperer. Thanks.